Marriage often involves navigating differences. And one of the common areas of conflict is the approach to what you possess and the approach to decluttering. While one partner might embrace minimalism, seeking simplicity and order, the other may find comfort and joy in collecting and surrounding themselves with items that hold sentimental value or promise some future utility. And balancing these different perspectives can be challenging, but with empathy and communication and practical strategies, couples can find a consensus that respects both partners' needs and fosters a harmonious living environment. Now, keep in mind, full disclosure, I have been married twice, and I have been divorced twice. So obviously, I'm an expert at understanding relationships. I'm not doing this video today to give you marriage advice, far from it. But I do have a few ideas after many people have asked me for them in the comments of my videos on how to get as close to the same page as possible when it comes to how your home, or your lives for that matter, is going to be organized. Let me state up front that the ideas I'm about to share in this video can only apply if you are in a loving, committed relationship built on mutual trust. If you are in an abusive relationship, or if your partner leans heavily toward being extremely controlling about everything in your life, then the tips in this video are not going to help you or your situation. And I would recommend that you see a marriage counselor or another professional to talk through your unique situation. So after all that, if you are still with me, let's get started. The first step towards consensus is understanding. Both partners should take the time to listen to each other's viewpoints. The minimalist partner values simplicity, often associating a clutter-free space with mental clarity and reduced stress and greater efficiency. But on the other hand, the collector might associate their possessions with memories and security and potential future use. Recognizing that these perspectives are shaped by deep-seated beliefs and experiences of life is crucial. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about finding common ground. Now, there are many ways to gain perspective. The Myers-Briggs test is a good way to figure out much about each of your personalities. Dr. Jordan Peterson has a test for this type of thing on his website as well, and I actually took that one not long ago, and it's a bit flawed. I know that's a shocker. But the best thing I've ever come across for partners to better understand each other, or for understanding why you keep choosing the same personality type over and over while you're dating, is probably Dr. Harville Hendrick's work, Getting the Love You Want. And he has a book specifically for married couples called Keeping the Love You Find. It is eye-opening in its clarity on why we do the things we do and why we choose the relationships we choose. The thing you do not want to do, which is the thing that I typically did, is say, I don't care, do what you want, it's not going to matter, I'm okay either way. Because in fact, you do care. And you're just delaying the setback or the argument for a later time. So just peel the Band-Aid off now and get it out of the way. Trust me on this one. Effective communication is the cornerstone of resolving any marital conflict. Couples should engage in open, honest, and non-judgmental conversations about their feelings toward clutter and possessions. And this can be facilitated by setting aside regular times to discuss these issues, ensuring that both partners feel heard and respected. And using I statements, I know this is very cliche, but using I statements such as, I feel overwhelmed when the house is cluttered. Instead of, you always leave your stuff everywhere. That can really help when expressing feelings without blaming the other person. The single most important thing that you can say to your spouse or your partner as they open up to you is this. If I hear you correctly, you're saying, and then repeat back to them what, in your own words, what you understood your partner to say. And if you're wrong, they have the opportunity to correct you. And then you go back and you say it again. Okay, if I heard you correctly, I heard you say this. And if you are right, you will probably see a glimmer in their eyes or a sudden straightening of their shoulders, because it is a powerful thing to finally feel heard in a relationship, in any relationship. And once you each understand the other's perspectives, you can work together to set common goals for your house. These goals should be specific and realistic and mutually agreed upon. For instance, you might decide to declutter one room at a time, aiming to keep shared spaces more minimalist while allowing individual spaces to reflect personal preferences. And setting common goals helps in creating a sense of partnership and a sense of shared purpose, reducing the likelihood of conflict. Now, speaking in stereotypes, please don't lambaste me in the comments, the wife might want to deal with decorating the living room, and the husband might want more freedom in the den, or one of them might want more control over the bedroom, while the other wants to be in control of the master bathroom. Maybe you want to get input from your partner before making a final decision on something, but it helps if you go into the process understanding the final decision on this particular space is going to be the sole responsibility of one of you. Compromise is key in any relationship as well. And in the context of decluttering, this means finding a balance that both of you can live with. One practical approach is the one in, one out rule. And I personally live by that at the moment, where for every new item brought into the home, an old one is discarded. And this approach can help satisfy the collector's desire for new items while maintaining a balance in the overall number of possessions for the minimalist. Additionally, agreeing on designated spaces for each partner's items can allow for personal freedom within a shared environment. Now, let me insert here that it is perfectly understandable for there to be certain non-negotiables in this process. For instance, if the wife is given the task to decorate the living room, she might ask her spouse, what is one thing in this room that you absolutely insist stays? Find that one thing and figure out how to work it into your design plans. And if it is that black light painting of dogs playing poker, well, you asked. Go figure it out. On the other hand, you might be surprised. The one thing that is absolutely crucial to keep may not be the thing that you think it is. And it's okay to ask why. Why is this one thing that important to you? If you are just so surprised as to be taken aback, you might try the most important words again. If I heard you correctly, you said, but responding with, there is no way in hell I'm letting that piece of junk stay in this room, well, it might be time to go back to the drawing board before you begin, because you have failed miserably. Decluttering can be a bonding activity if it's approached positively. Couples should consider setting aside time to declutter together, making it a team effort. And this can be made enjoyable by incorporating music or setting small rewards for milestones or even making it a game. And the same would apply for the area of the house where you're going to allow more things to accumulate for the collector. Work together. Figure out a way to display those items in their best possible light. Working together not only makes the task more manageable, but it also can strengthen the relationship between the two of you by fostering cooperation and understanding. There used to be a fairly popular TV show where two neighboring couples would redecorate each other's living spaces. It might have been called House Swap or something. I don't remember. I rarely ever watched it. But as couple A is decorating couple B's house, couple B is not allowed to see the process. They were just surprised with the end result. And a few times you could tell they were genuinely pleased with what they saw. But most of the time, and I think this was the purpose of the show, most of the time there was a look of fear in their eyes at this monstrosity their friends created for them. And I bring that up to say it is not a good idea to just do this decluttering or rearranging on your own. Make it a joint effort. That was the single most important thing I could have done when helping my mom declutter some of her spaces. If I had just gone in and done it on my own, I would have taken out items she genuinely cherished or used regularly, and we would never have done a second space. It would have been over even before it began. Now, one of the most challenging aspects of decluttering is dealing with sentimental items. And here, empathy and sensitivity are crucial. You should respect each other's attachments and agree on a system that honors these items while keeping your clutter in check. For instance, creating a memory box for each partner to store their most treasured items can be a good compromise. Another idea may be to digitize sentimental items, such as scanning old photos and storing them electronically. That way you preserve the memories without taking up the physical space. Or you might be able to move particular items to other parts of the house. Find a compromise where your partner can still enjoy having it, but it isn't something that you have to look at every single day. Now, I'm about to stop here and repeat something I've already stated, so bear with me, because I get it. Sometimes you're just married to a jerk, and that can be the husband or the wife. It isn't relegated to one particular gender. Every decision you make may be criticized, and this process will not work at all if that is happening. So if conflicts persist, seeking professional help can be beneficial. A professional organizer or a therapist specializing in couples counseling can provide neutral perspectives and practical strategies tailored to the couple's unique situation. These professionals can help in mediating discussions and setting realistic goals and implementing effective decluttering techniques that cater to both partners' needs. And as we have said over and over and over ad nauseum on this channel, decluttering is a process. It is not a one-time event. It requires patience and persistence. And couples should celebrate small victories and be prepared for some setbacks. Regularly revisiting and adjusting your goals can help in maintaining momentum and ensuring that both partners in your relationship remain committed to the process. It's important to remember that creating a harmonious living space is a journey that requires ongoing effort and mutual collaboration. Ultimately, decluttering is about more than just managing physical possessions. It's about creating a living environment that supports the well-being and the happiness of both partners. For example, if your spouse likes to eat on the couch watching television, that would be me, but you've just redecorated the entire room in white, making eating on the couch a Richter scale incursion on your space, you have not made the space a welcoming living environment for your spouse. Keeping the bigger picture in mind can help couples stay focused on their shared goals and the benefits of a decluttered, or at least organized, harmonious home. By prioritizing your relationship, not your possessions, and working together, couples can navigate their differences and create a space that reflects their combined values and their aspirations. Navigating differing perspectives on decluttering and minimalism within a marriage can be challenging. No argument on that one. But it is entirely possible with understanding and communication and compromise. By setting common goals and being flexible and approaching the task as a team, you can find a balance that respects both partners' needs. Remember that decluttering is a journey, and seeking professional help if necessary can further aid in creating a harmonious and a clutter-free home. And in the end, the process of decluttering together can actually strengthen your own relationship, fostering a deeper connection and a shared sense of accomplishment. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments. But please keep in mind, I'm not going to attempt to resolve family disputes here. Never, ever, 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 ever. I do appreciate you watching, and we'll see you again next time.